Hi. So recently I've been shopping a lot for furniture, and that's because I'm doing a move, but I think for a lot of people, they're spending a lot of time at home, maybe transitioning to working from home, and they might be in the market for a new desk chair or a new couch or something like that. And because you can't go in store to buy a lot of this furniture, we're probably spending a lot more time online. And chances are you've been shopping at Wayfair if you have looked for online furniture. And that's because they are the biggest retailer in that space. They have a market share about 33%, Amazon a little under 30%, and then Walmart trailing far behind at 4 or 5%. So as you can see, the chances are pretty high that you've at least, looked at something on there before. They also own some of the other sites like All Modern, Joss and Main, and Birch Lane. So even if you haven't shopped on Wayfair.com itself, you might have, shopped for the company in total. And Wayfair this is not unique to Wayfair, but Wayfair does not actually design or manufacture any of the products that they're selling. They're more of like a middleman. They have thousands of different vendors and third-party sellers that they drop ship from, I think. I think other retailers might buy a certain amount from manufacturers and have their own warehouses. Other places will, design all their stuff or even end-to-end manufacture their things depending on if they're a specialty store. Some people have exclusive products. But for Wayfair, because everything that they are selling, they're not, necessarily exclusive. Naturally, their products are going to be sold at other retailers as well. But the thing that I noticed at Wayfair is that they like to change the names of their products so that it's hard to price compare to other retailers. So they will keep things that are brand important. So if you're in the market for a vacuum cleaner or something like that, you're probably looking up things like Shark or Hoover vacuum cleaner or what have you. So they're not going to get rid of those kind of brands, but for a lot of furniture brands, you probably don't really care. You just care about how it looks or what the quality is. So I'm just gonna throw out an example. I was looking for an office chair and it is called the Linen Sinclair chair. And I own this chair from secondhand, and I was just curious at how much it was. And I see that on Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, it's all listed as Linen Sinclair. It looks like Overstock has it as Linen Pamela, getting creative here, but ultimately, it's all under the same brand, so it's really easy to go and do a Google search and see what the price is on each retailer. But if you go over to Wayfair, you see that the name is something totally different. Eckerd Task Chair, I don't even think that's a better name. They also have it listed under, well, it says out of stock, but Basil Wood Task Chair, maybe Basil, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. But it's totally different, and I'm sure that Wayfair is not the only retailer to do this, but it's definitely the biggest. So that's very annoying, but you might think, okay, well, even though they have a different name, maybe the item number is still on there or the description is the same, so I can just copy and paste that in. No, they changed that too. The other solution that you might have is to do a reverse image search, which does work, and that's what I do, but you need to search up multiple of the same image or the same product's image in order to get the results that you're looking for. And you might go on, reverse image search on Google or a TinEye to be able to find, the same picture on other sites. But what I noticed is that Wayfair even has their own renderings of images. So I don't even think they're real pictures. I think they just rendered that particular chair, for example, into a different background with a different size so that you can't do an image search. I mean, I hate to attribute this to some kind of nefarious purpose or, specifically just because of that, but I find it hard to believe that they would change the name and put in new images and change the descriptions just because they think that would help the item sell more. In fact, I think Linen Sinclair is a better name for a chair than Eckerd. I mean, either way, they're just like nonsense. It's just like names. So it doesn't really matter. I honestly think that they changed the names because they want to make it seem as if Wayfair only has this item and also for it to be harder for us to search. And if you bought something from Wayfair and you notice it on something like Walmart or Home Depot later as $100 less, they don't do price matching, so it doesn't even matter if you want a price match. Don't even try because they apparently don't price match. And the hilarious thing is they do keep the items consistent between their websites, it looks like, but it looks like they have different prices for them. So For example, on Jocelyn, I saw this office chair and it's $140 here, but on Wayfair it's $120. So that is a $20 difference. So it's like not a huge deal or anything like that, but you know, they probably don't even price match between their own websites, let alone other websites entirely. Now, that's not to say that Wayfair is like an evil company or, you know, bring them down or anything like that, but I just find that a little bit shady and a little bit annoying. I am probably not going to stop using them, at least as a source of being a search engine, and they're not necessarily the most expensive retailer. They are generally, from what I find, they tend to be the middle price. They are sometimes the cheapest and they're sometimes the most expensive depending on what you're searching for, but it's way easier to compare with other stores than with Wayfair. Additionally, I don't know if you noticed this with this chair, but they listed the regular price as around $500, which is kind of a rip. If you see the other sites, they list the regular price as more like $300 or something a little bit more reasonable. So they're saying that their item is like 50% on sale when really it's not even anywhere close to that much percent off. And that's of course a sample size of one, so I don't know if they really mark up their items that much more than other retailers, but I find that to be pretty annoying as well. Now, there are really good parts about Wayfair. I mean, they tend to have pretty good customer service compared to, you know, buying from the vendor directly. They have a really good search engine. I think for some purposes, especially with furniture, it's kind of the best that I've had. I can search, you know, size, dimensions, color, style, all this type of stuff that not every single website offers, but you have to be very savvy to be making sure that you're getting the best deal for what you're getting if you're gonna shop at Wayfair. So yes, just something to look out for. And now, you know, with some sites, if it's like $20 or $30, I won't even go and price check it because I might really need that item, like if I'm buying it from Home Depot or something like that. But if I'm buying at Wayfair, I'm checking it all the time because I don't even know if this $20 item might be like $3 somewhere else. It's hard for me to trust it. Side note, this isn't really related to Wayfair, but I've also been buying a lot of furniture secondhand, and I've noticed a few really annoying things, and there's a lot of things to complain about when it comes to Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Obviously, the scamming part, so, you know, being careful and things like that. But this is more like a pet peeve thing. If you are selling an item, do not sell it for the same exact price that you bought it for if it is, you know, just because you bought it in the same year. I've seen a lot of people buy furniture that is from Target or Walmart or IKEA or somewhere really basic, and they say, oh, this hasn't even been used. I just bought it last month, or I bought it a year ago, and, you know, it's super clean like new, so, you know, you don't have to pay for like the shipping fee or whatever, but, you know, please pay full price for it. It's like, what kind of planet are you on? If you bought this in the same year, chances are it's still being sold at that retailer, and everywhere kind of offers free shipping if you buy a certain amount, especially with furniture or, you know, home good items over, you know, a certain amount. So why in the world would we buy something full price from you when we can buy directly from the retailer? It's not just about the price, it's about the fact that you can return it if you need to, or, you know, bring it up with the retailer if there's some kind of defect. You can't do that with a secondhand seller. So that to me is ridiculous. Also, just watch out for people selling things for more than they bought it for when it's really basic. Now, I'm not talking about people who did like an upcycle or they did their own thing to justify that price or like a vintage item. I'm talking again about something like on IKEA that has, you know, just come out. Maybe it's like a new IKEA line that people haven't seen before, so they're not familiar with it, or maybe it just got discontinued. But some of the pictures on IKEA are really nice, and, you know, a lot of the things at IKEA look really nice from far away. So you might think that a lamp is worth $100, even on the website it already says it's only $40. So that is really annoying, and I wish people would just cut that out. But I think, you know, just because I tell them to cut it out, they're not going to do so. So just watch out for those kinds of very annoying and shady behaviors.